everyone for being here tonight. So happy you're all here. Thank you. Welcome to Desert Moon Wellness. I see a lot of new faces, so it makes me super happy. Tonight's a full circle moment. I'm reading because, I'll get nervous and forget everything. So I'm just going to read it. Over the past decade, I've spent so much of my life learning, healing, and supporting women, supporting mothers, and building the toolbox that ultimately became Desert Moon Wellness. Some of these tools are modalities like we have here, but many of these most powerful tools are simple, free, and available to us, already within us. I've realized we all need to build our own personal rituals and toolbox, the things that help us feel regulated, grounded, connected, clear, and alive. What I've learned is the most powerful practices are the ones that help us tune inward, the ones that quiet the noise for us to actually hear ourselves again, to trust our body, to trust our intuition, and to connect with what is true. I met Dr. Melissa Saunders in 2020, and we immediately knew it was clear that our families were on a similar mission. To live our truest lives, to create balance within our families, to stay connected to what matters most, and help others along the way. Some of our very first bonding conversations happened by water, talking about healing, nervous systems, motherhood, purpose, and what it really means to thrive in motherhood. And now, years later, she's here with us at Desert Moon in Las Vegas. She's here for one day, by the way, y'all. One day. She's like, I'm coming in, let's do this. And it's such a special time with her launch of the Connection Code, so I'm getting there too. So this feels incredibly special. What Melissa teaches us is truly powerful, and honestly something I believe all of us can carry with us for the rest of our life, no matter where you're at in your journey as a woman. But most importantly, she reminds us of this: the power is already within us. She gives us a roadmap to understanding and shifting into the brainwave state that supports healing, clarity, creativity, connection, flow, and regulation. We already know the brain is the pilot. It influences everything. It feels nothing, but it influences how we think, how we feel, how we react, how we heal, how we connect, and how we move through life. So instead of constantly working against ourselves, what if we learned how to work with our brain and nervous system instead? That shift alone can change everything. Tonight is about connection. It's about understanding ourselves more deeply as a woman. It's about learning instead of suffering. And honestly, I'm so excited for what's ahead. Melissa, congratulations on the Connection Code. I'm so incredibly proud of you, your heart, your work, and the impacts you're creating in the world. And to everyone here tonight, please make yourself comfortable, relax, exhale exactly as you are. We're so happy you're here. And so I introduce you, Dr. Melissa Saunders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, that was very, very heart-opening. Thank you. I'm an alpha.
You're welcome.
I mean, you guys know Janelle and Cory. Everybody who's here has been here. You guys know Janelle and Cory. Some people maybe don't yet. I mean, you were in incredible hands. The minute that I met Janelle and Cory, we actually spent some time in Hawaii. We were put together in a house on a work project. And so our families literally crammed into a house on the North Shore of Hawaii, which is a crazy experience. But you really get to know somebody when you're like in the same living quarters, and our kids were running around and we were working. And I mean, you guys are the real deal. Like, this comes from your heart, and it's been so incredible to see what you've created. And, you know, those of you that know them, you feel that, I'm sure. So I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
So happy to be here.
Happy too. Thank you.
So definitely excited to get to know you all better. My goal in this experience, you guys all took time out of your busy lives. I want you to leave here with like a really tangible tool. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story, why I wrote the book, and then some information behind some things in the book. And then we're going to literally walk through this sheet, because I want you, the sheet that you guys all have, that brainwave. I want you to literally leave here with a very easy, accessible tool that you can use in any moment. So this book came from me completely losing myself, losing my mind, literally. I was a woman doing all the things right on paper, doing the workouts, checking off all the boxes in my career, eating healthy, eating clean, raising our 3 kids. But underneath it, there was always a sense of like overwhelm or pushing too hard that I think is very familiar to today's woman. And I kept trying to override those whispers and those signals that I needed a break, and instead I pushed through. And so what happened to me 10 years ago, when our kids were 6, 4, and 1, and I had a full-time practice as a chiropractor, is I got meningitis and encephalitis. And I had a complete shutdown of my nervous system. And so the way that presented is, we have an office similar to like what Janelle and Cory have that my husband and I had built over the last 15 years, 2 miles from our house, and I couldn't find it. You guys think about peak of your career raising young children. At our oldest son's kindergarten graduation, I was crying, and all the moms were like, oh my God, I know our babies. And I was like, yeah, trying to pretend I was okay. I was crying because I didn't remember his name. Oh. So one of the scariest things I've ever experienced. And because we had incredible tools, thank God, I was able to get better really fast. But in that time, I asked these questions. Like, I can't push through that way, but there wasn't a tool that I could access to give myself rest in the moments that I needed it most. So I spent the last decade asking those questions and digging through those answers, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you guys will leave here with that tool. So I've been a chiropractor. Anything else before I start?
No, I would share one thing, I guess.
Okay.
The connection code books will also be available to purchase tonight. Ladies, I know that Dylan mentioned it when you checked in. The book itself is $20. We also have books in bags with gift cards for Desert Moon, and those are $30, just so you know, for after. Melissa will be doing book signings, and we'll do photos after. And now I'm going to grab my own worksheet real quick.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be right back.
Do you want me to wait for you?
No. Oh,
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
So I've been a chiropractor for 20 years, which is crazy because at this point in my life, I feel like I'm 26 now that I've gotten better and gotten through that rough patch. Thank you. I'm 44. I graduated in 2006. And in that time, my focus has been women and their nervous system. And what I've noticed in the 20 years of working with women and their nervous systems is that there is a gap. There is a piece that we're missing in the treatment and support of overwhelm, cognitive fatigue, and all the symptoms that we have as today's women. And that gap that we're missing is not a lack of information. It's a lack of space to integrate it. Because what happens when you take a nervous system that is constantly being bombarded with information, it goes into survival mode. And from that place, your brain, your nervous system, cannot memorize, remember, integrate, or apply anything that you're giving it. And that's not a motivation problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's usually not a hormone problem. It's a physiological problem. And so what we tend to do in those times is try every tool under the sun when actually the biggest thing we need is the ability to downshift our system in real time. So you can think about the nervous system like the operating system of our body, and the brainwave gears, the things that we're going to cover, as like the gears of a car, the gears of our system. And at any moment, we're in one gear. And these gears determine how we experience, how we interpret, and how we respond to anything going on in our life. So gear 1 and 2 are theta and alpha. And that's where we integrate. That's where I'll walk you guys through it. You can look at it, but you don't need to write anything down yet. That's where we regulate. That's where we recover. That's where we heal. Gear 3, beta, is where we execute. It's where we focus. It's where we get shit done. It's our get shit done gear. And the problem isn't beta, gear 3, but the problem is that we're living in it. And when you live constantly in one gear, you start to lose the ability to switch in and out of them. And when we lose that cognitive flexibility to change gears at any moment, that can show up as poor memory, brain fog, low energy, what's going on with my hormones? Is it perimenopause? And so this is where, actually, this is, the way that this shows up in most people's life is, it might be something like, I'm going to push through my day and get it all done so I can get to the end and then relax. And then you get to the end of the day, and what happens? You can't. It's like you're wired but tired. Or this might show up as you're physically present with someone, but mentally you're in the past or the future, whether it's with your partner, your loved ones, your friends, your coworkers, your kids. This might also look like you snap at the people that you love most. Mm-hmm. Or like the clutter on the counters is driving you crazy, or people's chewing or breathing is starting to bother you.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. I have. I know.
Because everything feels louder and urgent even when it's not. And this is when people start to think, what's wrong with me? I've tried every tool and nothing is working. But I'm here to remind you that this isn't something wrong with you. Your nervous system is doing what it was designed to do. When it's in a state of survival, everything will get loud because it is urgent. Your system thinks it's keeping you alive. And so self-care needs a rebrand. It doesn't need to be this 1-hour appointment outside of us. These tools play a massive role, and we'll talk about like how and why. But self-care is truly the ability to downshift our gears in any moment. And that's an inside job, and it starts with connection, and it comes from you. And the beauty of these tools is that you can use them in any moment. The moment where we actually probably feel that we need self-care the most, but we can't access it, so we push that voice down. Okay, so let's get out your sheet. I'm gonna walk you guys through this step by step. I love interaction, so if you guys wanna ask questions, like go for it, or you can ask them afterwards. What I plan on doing is a walkthrough of these gears, and then if we have time, we'll do like a little activation of how to experience one of these and like a little journal prompt that you can use on your own as well. Sound good? Okay. So what I love about the brainwave gears is once you understand this, and we'll keep it very simple and again, ask questions, in any moment we stop asking what's wrong with me and we start asking what gear am I in and what gear do I want to be in for the task at hand. So we're going to start with gear 1 on the wheel. Gear 1 is Theta. Theta is my favorite gear. Theta is, she's a daydreamer. I aim to be more like Theta. Theta is where our intuition lives. So you want to write intuition. I know it's really little, but just like, write a word or two. Theta is where intuition clarity lives. This is where we hear our voice before the world gets loud. If any woman has ever been like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't even know what I want anymore. You need more time in Theta. Theta is, if you've ever heard someone say, I get my best ideas in the shower, that's Theta. So if we create space for Theta, we spray. I cannot talk today. If we create space for Theta, we create space for clarity and to hear our own answers. Theta, we wake up in Theta. And we do 2 things that pull us out of Theta, often by accident. And the 2 things that we do are we turn on artificial lighting and we go on our screens. And as long as you don't do one of those things, you will stay in Theta. And so what I love to help women understand is like, we don't have to have a 1-hour morning routine. I love the 1-hour morning routine that like Huberman and all the guys are out there talking about, but sometimes we can't fit it in. And that doesn't mean that we're a failure or that we fail because we can't achieve the protocol. The protocol is failing us because there's just not time. So the goal with these gears is to spend a few minutes in each one before going into your day in beta. So you think about like a car analogy, right? You wouldn't go in your car, take it from park to 80 on the highway. You would go in gear 1, then gear 2, then gear 3. So this is like 5 minutes. So write 5 minutes in Theta. So you want 5 minutes off your screen. It's actually going to be 10, but we'll add the next 5 in the next triangle. And you want 5 minutes in circadian friendly lighting. So you can do like red light bulbs on Amazon. You can literally buy them. They're $8. Plug them in a lamp in your house and only turn that on in the morning. If you have to go on your phone for your alarm or something like that, there's a red light shortcut for a filter. I can send you guys, I think I'll have all your emails. I can send you some of these resources. And the action step, because everyone's always like, okay, what do I do? Because we're doers. I want you to do nothing. But if you need an action step, it's listen. So write listen in caps. And this isn't where you listen to Joe Dispenza. This isn't where you listen to a podcast. This is where you listen to you. And make sure you guys hear this and note this. Like tomorrow, if you go to sit to do this, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to sit. I'm going to listen. That lady told me to do so. And you're going to sit and you're going to hear all this chatter. And you're going to think you're doing it wrong. The listening does not have to sound like intuition and clarity. The listening can sound like, I have so much on my plate today. I can't get it done. How am I going to do this? That's your voice. It's not about judging it or expecting it to look a certain way. It's just about reconnecting with it, giving it space before you're listening to everybody else. So it's okay, and it'll often especially hear that way if you haven't carved out space for it before. So that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It actually means you're doing it right. Okay, next is alpha. Alpha is gear 2, and alpha is our heart opener. Alpha is present time and flow state. Alpha is where you start to feel and experience yourself amidst the chaos of your life. So this is you, like Y-O-U or you. This is you, me, whatever you want to write. When you spend a few minutes in alpha in the morning, it leads to peak performance all day. So like for those of us overachievers that want to hop on the email, I don't have time to take these 5 minutes, actually taking this moment, it's not a do nothing gear. Alpha is a priming gear. So maybe write that down. Spending time in alpha allows you to be more efficient and effective the rest of the day. Whether you're an athlete, a mom, whatever, any task at hand. What else do I want to say? Okay, alpha also, 2 ways we get out of alpha. Guess what they are? Same things. Screens and artificial lighting. Yep. We want 5 minutes in alpha. So what do we have here? We have a 10-minute morning. I call it my magical morning. 10 minutes, that's all I'm asking. Theta, you listen. Alpha, you connect. This is a great time for journaling, and I hope we have time to do a little journal thing. I like to do like a call and response. So you actually talk to the voice that you heard in Theta. Hey girl, like, why are you so overwhelmed today? What do you need? What do you desire today? Who can you ask for help? Right? And just listen and write that. Okay, then, and I'm speeding through these, you guys. I have like on my website, there's resources. I've got videos, like all the things. This is just a taste, and all this is in the book as well. All right, gear 3, beta, very familiar to most of us. Again, this is GSD, get stuff done gear. This is your focused tasks. This is like your biggest, hardest things of the day fit in beta. Beta is intended to be 9 to 5. Remember Dolly Parton's song?
Yeah.
Like nobody works 9 to 5 anymore, because now you know if you go under artificial lights or you go on your screens, you go into beta. So are we working 9 to 5 or are we working 6 to 11? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So a lot of this we know. But what I find is so different, and why I wanted to put this information together, is it gives you like guideposts. Yes, we know going on screens all the time is bad. Yes, we know it's a problem. But like, here's how you do it, because the reality is it's our life. Mm-hmm. So we can go on them, but every 90 minutes of beta, we need a break. Your brain literally starts to peter out. And you'll feel that. We'll usually get up. We'll want a snack. We'll doom scroll, right? I need a brain break. Let me scroll my phone. Okay, what gear does our phone keep us in? Beta. So I love a good scroll, but know what it's doing. It is not giving you a break out of beta. It's keeping you there. That's why it doesn't feel good. You don't feel better after. Okay? Let's see. Action step for beta is put your devices on do not disturb. And do not multitask.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we will get frazzled when we try to multitask in beta. Not productive. You get like spun out. Yeah. So linear, try to do one thing, finish it, then the next. This is, you don't want to have like those pings going off, the text messages, the emails. And I know some people, we have to have our phones on. Kids, work, whatever, but just understand, you know, the goal of this is we're not victims to our life or, you know, to our schedules. Like now we can have the power to know, oh, I feel spun out at night. I can't sit down. Well, if I look back, I was in beta all day. Okay. Number 4, I'm a huge fan of microdosing. But when I say that, I'm not talking about psilocybin. I'm talking about connection. Everything has its place. So every 90 minutes, we want a microdose connection. We want a 2-minute brain break, a true brain break. We want to go in alpha or theta. Okay? And so during the workday, like I don't know that you're going to be in red light or orange light or that you can actually hear your own voice if the world is loud. So I'm going to give you some other ways during the day to get into alpha and theta. Nature is amazing for section 4. Moving our body, so like a 2-minute walk. Jamming your favorite song. Blasting the music, 2 minutes, especially if it's a song that you grew up on. There's something called neural nostalgia. It's like the music that we grew up on, like for me, the 90s, it just does something. Follow what feels good. Like we will be very naturally drawn to things that put us in alpha, especially as women. But we just judge it. I don't have time, I should do that email. Or like, this isn't actually doing anything. It is. And science showed that 2 minutes of going in alpha or theta in a lot of instances is just as effective as these 1-hour things that we try to cram in. So it's not either or, it's both and. But we don't have to wait for that Sunday massage to reset our nervous system. We can do it in 2-minute chunks. Getting outside, walking, dancing is great. Having a snuggle. Expanded gaze. This is one that I use all throughout the day. So expanded gaze is just looking up and out 10 feet away or more and scanning the horizon. Amazing if you can do it outside. Literally instantly pulls you out of fight or flight and into safety. Regulates your nervous system. Clears all those tabs so you can go back to the task with fresh eyes and a fresh brain. It's one of my favorite tools. Okay, triangle 5. So in the morning, we want to go to gear 1 and 2 before gear 3. That's clear, right? We need our warm up. Same thing at night. So we don't have to have this like perfect evening ritual and practice. I mean, we would all love it, I'm sure. The 1-hour bath and book and all the stuff. But what we need to do is like, we can't go from gear 3 into gear 0. Gear 0 being sleep. Think about if you're on the highway in your car and you were going 80 and you slammed it into park. Would you be like, what's wrong with my car? Would you say, what did I do to my car? So same thing, we need to slow down. At the end of the day, we need to go from gear 3 into 2, 1, and then sleep. So triangle 5 is all about our evening wind down. Looking at a candle is amazing. Dr. Patrick Porter, who I know you love, the founder of BrainTap, one of the amazing tools that Cory and Janelle have here, taught me this. We have something in our nervous system called mirror neurons. It's why if you smile at a baby, the baby smiles back, right? So whatever you do, I'm going to do eventually, right? You cross your arms, I'm going to cross my arms. The frequency of a flickering flame is the same frequency as alpha. So when you look at a flame, you go into alpha no matter what. And you think about if you've ever sat at a bonfire, what happens? Or like looked at a fire, you get in that trance. You're literally in present time. So we can use candles at night. Candles are really good. I actually light a candle at my computer, so every so often I'm looking from the screen to the candle. Meditation and motion is also really good for a downshift if you have kind of gotten like stuck in your head all day. So meditation and motion is like basically occupying your hands, which busies the left side of your brain and like gets her to kind of chill out. So you can go into the right side of your brain, which downshifts you. So like a puzzle. Like if you have a table in your house that you can lay out a puzzle, doing a puzzle is one of the best ways to downshift after a busy day. It gives your left brain something to do. That's the side that would be like, oh, I didn't do that email, or why'd she say that thing, or how am I going to get it all done? There's not enough time. Gets occupied.
Go through the list of the
Yeah. It's like you can't even think anymore because you're focused on the puzzle. And it allows the expansive, dreamy right side of the brain to come back up into regulation. Knitting is really good. Cutting shirts
Yes.
is alpha. What were you saying? You're like, I did this when the babies were babies.
Yes.
And
So yeah, I have this little art. I started cutting t-shirts in motherhood when I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and I loved what I did. Most of the shirts I would just get lost in before I found my way, and I did a lot of one-on-one pieces. But throughout that time is when I really was able to, I did not know this till Melissa taught me that I was an alpha because I became so connected to my intuition. And this is why Desert Moon was born in this time about a decade ago. And like just really understanding, because we have such a clear path to the universe, and we have such like, there's this power always wanting to support us at all times. But the more we can get clarity, and this is just such a game changer, because even though I've collected all these tools along the way, learning about the brain is a whole other masterpiece.
Well, I think what it does, it allows you to realize, okay, here's how I get in the pocket. You know, like I think we've all had those moments or those days when we're like, it was a really good day. Yeah. Was it the hair? Was it the coffee? Like, no, you were probably in alpha.
Yeah.
So now you know how to get in the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a great day. How do I switch that? Alpha.
Yeah, so just having something set up, like I had like a t-shirt room set up at home, so I would just go in there, I weave, so I just weave and get lost, and that's like, to me, that's more fun than a puzzle, but you can do it.
Yeah, so whatever, like creating, doodling, you know, drawing, those things are all super powerful. Those like adult coloring books, anything that's repetitive. Like here's a square that I'm going to draw, or those malas. Is that what they're called? The malas?
Malas, yeah. That's Cory's thing. So guys can do this too. Yeah. So Cory makes malas. It's like his
They're like tinkering. Thing. Like Jason loves to tinker and like fix stuff, you know? That's alpha.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Okay. And then sunset lighting is incredible. Gets you into alpha. And then number 6 delta, that's sleep. And, you know, sleep is really important. And I know we all know this, but, you know, a good day starts with a good night. And sleep is the only time that certain physiological things happen. It's the only time that our lymph system of our brain actually clears out all the toxins. Super, super important. It's why you feel like fuzzy and foggy if you don't sleep. The toxins are sitting there. So, you know, making sleep non-negotiable by ensuring that you're going from gear 3 to 2 to 1 is so important, because nothing is more important than the recovery that can happen in our sleep.
I feel like this is the most, like, since the 4 years of being open here, like, this is, like, the most important part is the sleep. But, like, it's so hard for people to achieve quality sleep and get when that lymphatic system drains. So you really set us up for success.
Oh, good.
For that.
Good. Well, and also you think about, I mean, I've definitely done this. Like, how many times are we winding down? And then it's like, oh, I should send that email. Or, oh, I should, like, do that thing real quick. And maybe sometimes we have to. But understand, okay, you're starting to go into gear 2 and 1, getting ready for sleep. And now what gear are you going back into? 3. And then you put your head on the pillow and it's like, why can't I go to bed? Well, because I didn't downshift. So again, the whole purpose is to empower you. You have the tools, you have the code. This is a huge piece of it. Okay.
One thing in sunset, like I didn't write it down. I know we mentioned red light earlier, but one of the most powerful things that you've taught me too, and it's been powerful for our entire family. So if you guys have kids that have a hard time going to sleep or anything, is the red lights at night, like the lamp, shifting that and watching the sunset. If you can be barefoot outside watching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But creating that in your home, I mean, we had, like, over time I've accumulated a bunch of red lights, and our house looks like a brothel. Like, I think our neighbors think we're nuts, but literally, okay, I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And every time their friends come into our home, they're literally like, oh my God, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And our kids all are in bed at 9 o'clock asleep.
Yeah.
There are no bedtime fights. Like, it feels really good in our house. And it's naturally what our body should do. We've just created an environment that pulls it out of that.
It takes away the fight, like from us and from everyone. It's like everyone just wind down.
Yeah. Oh God, it feels so good. Okay. Any questions on that? I know I flew through that. What's our time? We go to
We're good.
7?
You have to like 7:15.
Oh, I do. We have so much time.
Do
you guys have any questions on that? Yes.
When you say that reading is in...
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up. Yeah, reading is so good. What were you going to ask, though?
If it's in theta, delta, if it's something...
Yeah, delta is sleep.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Alpha or theta, both.
Okay.
Yep, so reading is such an incredible tool. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Just, you know, be mindful if you are someone who reads on screens, like definitely having book in hand is much better.
Here.
Reading will put you into alpha and theta, and also what reading does. So in my practice, I used to work with a lot of kids that had like severe ADHD. And so I did functional neurological practices to help calm their nervous system. And one of the practices I did was eye movements. And if you take the eyes and you track them slowly from left to right, and then quickly from right to left, that slows the nervous system down. think about what happens when we read. You're literally slowly tracking. It's called a pursuit and then a saccade. You're literally slowly tracking from left to right and then quick back to the left. So when I was first doing this, like a couple years ago, I actually started a book club because I was asking women to sit in the morning. And they're like, I can't. And we're going to walk through something next, the journaling practice. They're like, I can't sit with myself. Like, I'm driving myself crazy. I don't know what to do. The list is coming up. So I'm like, here, I'm going to suggest a book and we're going to read a book together. And if you just open a book, like, I don't even care if you read Us magazine, but like literally the eye movements of reading will create an anchor so that you can sit. So I'm like, let's take it a step deeper and let me tell you what book to read. We read Patrick Porter's book. We read Joe Dispenza. So yes, reading is great. And then I love to read in bed. And so sometimes I need a book light. And on Amazon, you can look up circadian friendly book light. And there are these clip-on lights that are amber or red. I literally, every time I travel, I bring it. It's like what I use to navigate the hotel room. So you can use one of those in the morning or at night. Yeah, great question. I just wouldn't do it in Theta first thing in the morning because remember, you want to listen to you. So do it for Alpha.
There was someone that asked, I don't know if they're here or not, but there was someone that asked in the questions of, your best hacks for traveling and supporting and your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, okay. Who
Here?
asked that?
I don't know if they're here or not. I'd have to look, but.
Yeah, the lighting. So I always bring my book light so that like if I have to get up to pee or whatever, I'm using that and not turning on the overheads. This is a silly one, but for people who travel a lot, I rent a car instead of Ubering because I'm on my phone. You think about how often, like I move around a lot when I travel. So I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but I'm like going from place to place, thing to thing. Like the amount of time that you have to be on your devices and you're in beta and travel is stressful anyway. I can be in my own car. And when you're driving, you're in Theta, you're in expanded gaze. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm in the back of an Uber, I'm probably doing all the things. So like I work nervous system regulation into the car rides.
That's cool.
What else do I do? I always aim to get like fresh air. Also, when you spend all day in an airport and an airplane, you get in the Uber and they like keep the windows up. Like getting the fresh air and the nature is amazing for your nervous system. Sunlight helps set your circadian rhythm. But really like the hotel lighting, I feel like is so jarring.
I saw you
so,
like
the
one time put a
blockers.
red shirt over the
I have
light.
a red, yes, I have like a red. It's like
Scarf.
this thin silk thing that I put on the lamps. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know whose question that was, but I hope that helps. I always bring charcoal.
Is it only red light that calms you down, or can you have incandescent light bulb?
Yeah, those work too. Yeah, anything that's or like dimmers.
When they have on them,
Yeah. Oh, I know. So smart. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? It's weird that they're, something fishy going on. Yeah, but dimmers are great too.
Okay, so I think my head is just always stuck in beta because when I wake up, I'm on my phone and then at night, but I feel like during the day, I cannot get my brain to focus on like the tasks that I actually need to do. It's really interesting. So I don't know if it's brain fog, ADHD, like all of these thoughts are going on in my head, but yet I'm not actually productive.
Okay, let's see if anyone can answer that based on what we just talked about.
your phone off.
Okay, if she's in beta all day, right? Is that what you said? You're in beta all day. So beta is the marathoner. Like she will get shit done, but like even the best marathoner, what does she need?
Right.
So if you take a marathon runner and you never let her stop running, eventually you're going to ask her to run and what's going to happen? She can't.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah, again, your nervous system isn't failing you. It's doing what it's designed to do. You go in beta too long, it's going to tell you, I need a break. But what do? We're like, caffeine.
Yeah.
Push through.
I keep going.
It's a mindset thing.
I didn't get it done yet.
Yeah, say the positive mantra. Do the power hour. Does that help?
Okay, so every 90 minutes.
So slowly warm up. Like, can you not do your phone in the morning?
Yeah, I can. I can.
Okay.
I can do it for probably half an hour, maybe an hour max.
That's amazing. 10 minutes.
Okay. All right.
And then red light filter. I can show you here. I have an iPhone. Do you have an iPhone?
There's a shortcut on it where you just like click it
You
three
just-
times and it turns red.
Black and white. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can.
Yeah, so you just like turn it red. Three
Well, you have to set it first.
There's a shortcut. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, it's okay. I find it.
I can.
It's really
If someone writes down like in the email that I'm going to send them.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Can I use someone's pen? Okay, I have a video on it. I'll send you guys. Un momento.
Yeah.
Helps a lot. These things help us like take the thinking out of it. Like, otherwise,
so-
it's just like.
Oh. Let's see me. So
Wow.
I like to be a realist, but like if you could do 10 minutes, I mean, your brain will come back online. Like it's just asking for the break that it deserves. And then if you have to go on your phone, just make sure your red light filter's on. So like I turn mine on ideally when the sun is going down, not in the winter, not at 4 p.m. But you know, at some point when I'm like, okay, it's time to wind down, kitchen's closed, whatever. And then I don't turn it on again until I've done the Gear 1, Gear 2 magical morning warm up.
And then you turn it on, but you don't keep it on the red all day.
Yeah, no, you can put it on like regular lighting.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. We can handle, right? I mean, the sun is amazing. Okay. If the sun is like at 45 degrees in the sky, it's going to have us in alpha. It's like if you follow the sun and then when the sun is peak in the sky, that's blue light, that's beta. And then it's going to come down again. It's going to be at 45 degrees. That's alpha. So like we are rhythmic beings living in a rhythmic world. We've just started to go against it. So someone asked about grounding. Yeah, I mean, the more time we're in nature, the more time we're just surrounded by the rhythm and we're living in alignment with it. So yeah, I mean, that's the easiest thing. Like live connected to nature and then none of this matters. Like go camping and tell me if you can't fall asleep at 9 o'clock at night. You're gonna be knocked out, right?
Doesn't say so. So if we focus on our circadian rhythm, then we naturally will shift through these.
I mean, circadian rhythm is one of the most powerful things you can do to support your nervous system. Meaning dark when it's dark and light when it's light. That's how we were designed.
100%.
Yeah. The other thing, this is really cool. So if you have house lighting and you don't have red light yet, put your lamps on the floor. Because at sunset, our eyes are used to seeing the light low. And so you can like mimic that or recreate that. Or if you're in an environment where you can't control the lighting, like we can do the blue light blockers, or you can put a hat on. So the light you're seeing is low. So to your mind, it's like, oh, the sun is going down.
I have a question about blue light blockers because there's so much like skepticism on bright ones, right? There's
Yeah.
Can you show them yours? Where are they in the back?
What is the actual good?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Like, there's black and white. Viva Rays is a company that I use, love, and trust, and they're not cheap, but they feel really good, and their science is really strong, and like the people that have made the glasses are full of integrity and practice what they preach, and so I trust them. I have, when I first started doing some of this, I got some on Amazon. They take the edge off, but like, yeah, you can feel it. But I also don't want everyone running out and spending like $200 on blue light glasses, you know? I think that my goal is for people to not have to use the tools. But I'm telling you, these are, I mean, non-negotiable. Like, I never travel without them.
Yeah, so those,
So she has-
are those red like
So these are,
These are so cool.
I would bring like 10 pairs of glasses every,
the one that clicks on?
Yes.
What is the name of that?
Viva Rays.
What is it?
Viva Rays.
Viva Rays. Okay.
So like you've got your daytime if you're on the screens a lot. And then when you need to mimic, like I would normally be doing these now, I feel a lack of connection when I put them on. So like my brain is wanting them on, but I don't know. I want to be here with you guys.
And those will put you to sleep.
Yeah. So
Like
these
I
are like
when I watch
for,
TV at night or anything.
these are for my flights. So like on the way here, I was trying to trick my body. It's not daytime yet. You know, I flew from Miami, but I pretended it was 3 a.m. in Vegas. So I like went on the flight like that. And then at 6 a.m. here, I woke up.
And so what's the difference between the one you're wearing?
Oh, these are just more daytime. These are actually an older one. They're from True Dark. They don't make them anymore. But they're like a transition lens. I wear them during the day when I'm on the screen a lot. But then, like...
At night you.
So then I wear these more in the afternoon. And I have a pair by my bed that are really ugly True Darks. But they're dark red. And I put those on like an hour before bed. And I knock out.
You do. You knock
Every time.
out.
I'm the
Like
best
if I'm wired from work and I put the reds on and I'm at home watching a show with the kids or whatever, you literally like I pass out on the couch. My kids love it. I start talking. I'm like dreaming, talking to them. I'll send you guys all an email. If you don't want me to email you, just let Janelle know. I'll send like my favorite Alpha Theta connection tools for like those of us that want some like fun stuff. Like that's all my favorite gear. And then I'll send you, like I do every Tuesday, there's a 2-minute Tuesday newsletter. Here's 2-minute different ways to regulate your nervous system, just like stuff like that. And then I'll send you guys a link to the master class that I'm teaching next week, which we're going to do a little journaling practice. So I want to tease it before I tell you about the master class. So is that okay if we shift into that?
Yeah.
15 minutes is perfect. Yeah.
One more thing. How many minutes did you say we should spend to wind down for that?
I mean, amazing if you have an hour,
Okay.
but I'm usually cooking and doing homework with my kids like until 8:30, and then we go to bed at 9. So my wind down is like half hour maybe. Yeah. So the biggest thing is like the screen boundaries. So like our bedtime is 9 p.m. I typically don't go on screens after 7. So it's not like I have this 2-hour wind down routine. However, I have boundaries around beta time starting at 7. Does that help you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the biggest hitter that will impact your sleep is the screens.
So no movies after.
So, okay, great question. We watch something together almost every night.
Okay.
So yeah, screens keep you in beta, but here's the interesting thing. You can adjust the state that you're in to kind of like override this. So you think about if you're all relaxed at night and then you have that email to send and you're like stressed about it, you're going to go back into beta. But if you can take a moment and like breathe and do that email from a present state, you can stay in alpha. It's just not always easy. When you're watching something with your family or children, if you're in enjoyment and you're in oxytocin and you're cuddling and snuggling, like you will stay in alpha.
Okay.
Especially if you've got red lights around you. Like I will use my blockers at that time, but it's almost like the caveat, like, yeah, it's black and white, but also if you're snuggling with your family or you're under a really nice blanket, you know, like it's soul feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for asking that.
I do have a question. Going back to your the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
How would you have tips or support your family members that work night shift or graveyard?
Oh, that's hard. My brother is a police officer and he does that. It's hard. Yeah. I don't know the best answer to that, to be honest. I mean, I've told my brother, like, using, glasses when you can to help wind down or wind up, depending on what you're doing. It's hard. It's very taxing on the nerve system.
Yeah, we get asked that a lot. There's a lot of people that work nights here in
Yeah.
Vegas. Just
Yeah.
24 hours, and so
Yeah.
I was kind of like, because I was asked, like, when you get off that shift in the morning, what do you do? And I'm like, well, do you mimic? Do you like put your red lights on?
Right.
Like,
So what's what's the hours? I'm curious.
Well, he's a bartender, so he'll be off at like 2:30.
He gets done at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So by the time he's home at 3, his wind down is like 3:34, 5
Right.
a.m.
Right. Well, so I mean, if I were him and I were a bartender, I'd probably put on some sort of glass. But bars are kind of dark, right?
Yeah.
So like he might not.
At 5, yeah.
Yeah. So if he were to come home and like lay on the couch or something to wind down, I would do red light glasses. You also set your clock with protein. Renee, you probably know this stuff really well. Like when you want to tell your body this is morning, you want light and protein. So like also for him, if he wants to start to wind down, not eating protein late. Protein tells your body it's like time to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever we travel, if we go to like Europe or anywhere where the time zone is messed up, like I use light and protein to tell my body what time it is.
Fasting.
And fasting.
That's not opposite, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to fast if I'm like like when I go back to Miami and my body's, 3 hours this way, kind of, it was a very quick trip. I'll wake up as early as I can and I'll eat protein. I won't fast that day. Make sense? So I hope that helps, yeah. But it's hard. Yeah. Okay, let's do an activation. Okay, you guys, let's get your journal out. Is this helpful so far? Yeah. Yay! All right. How many of you guys have a voice in your head, like narrating your life? How many of you are saying, I don't have a voice in my head? Because that's your voice in your head. All right, so these voices are the things that can pop up that usually keep us playing small or like stuck in old stories, stuck in old loops, waking us up at 3 a.m. right? And so 2 of my favorite tools that I love, that I work with all the women that I coach and were my favorite chapters to write in the book, were 1 on the brainwaves and 2 on these voices. So I have a chapter in there about the ego. The ego is our inner narrator. And as women, we have been taught to power over, get beyond, and distract away from our ego, from that voice that's saying like yucky, maybe nasty things. And I really feel that we need to do the complete opposite. Our ego and our inner narrator is a huge aspect of who we are. It's at least half of us that's been narrating our entire life. And I think a lot of us women are really sick of hating and shaming aspects of who we are.
Yeah.
And wondering why we're exhausted when if we're only showing up with half of who we are, like trying to shove the shadow, right? It's not just our light that makes us powerful, it's our shadow, like all those emotions. So I want to do an activation to connect you to the 2 main voices that play in our head. 1 protects us from our life, quote unquote. That's the ego. And the other one helps us live it again. And that's our true self. So when I say ego, can you all anchor in like that's the inner narrator?
Yes.
Okay, because some people are like, well, my ego is what makes me like assertive or what makes someone stuck up or something like that. So in this case, your ego, what it truly is your inner narrator. Just a little side tangent. There's 2 parts of our nervous system that protect us. One is our amygdala. Where's Jen? She loved the amygdala part. One is our amygdala. It's like our inner security guard. You'll read about this in the book. And our amygdala keeps us physically safe. Our amygdala is what acts quick and reflexive. Like you go to step in the road and there's a car. Like you don't even think about it. Thankful to your amygdala. It's instant. It's reflexive. You put your hand on something hot and you pull it off. Like you don't even have to become aware. It's that fast for survival. Your ego keeps your identity safe. But it will show up as if your survival is threatened. So, you know, a lot of us, when it comes to these voices, like we don't necessarily need a ton of information about them, but we need to create space to hear and recognize them again so that we can get reconnected to our true self, to the piece of us that's here to live our life. Kind of like Janelle was saying, you know, we have this connection and we create through that, right? You created Desert Moon and we're all here for a calling. I really believe that, just to go a little woo-woo for a minute. But when we're pulled into beta and when we're pulled out of our hearts and into our head, like we can't access that. When we can live more in alpha, which is our natural default state, it's where we're supposed to be most of the time. It comes through us. Like we become less of a human doing and more of a human being. Call it your calling, call it your purpose, call it your clarity. You start living the life that you came here to live. That's where it gets really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through an expanded gaze. Do you like meditative music? Probably just anything.
Oh, yeah, we can play it.
Okay. So we're just going to do like a 2-minute. I want to get you into Theta. And then I'm going to encourage you to ask a question in your voice. But I want to get you in Theta first. Why? Anyone know? What happens in Theta? What voice do we hear?
Listen.
Yeah, you listen. And whose voice are you going to hear? Yours, yeah. So you're probably kind of in alpha, hopefully not beta right now, but you know, it's a lot of information. So let's take a little beat. You can keep your journal on your lap if you want, but get your feet on the floor. That's some big ones there. So again, this is also important because when we can just simply soften our nervous system, we can hear the voices and differentiate them again, the ones that are running our script in our life. And then we can untether from the ones that aren't serving us, and we can anchor into the ones that are. All right, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice, if you want to, you can put a hand on your heart or a hand on your belly. You can take a nice deep breath in. Let it all the way out. You do that again, and on the way out, we're going to all hum really loud. It activates your vagus nerve and calms down your nervous system. Ready? Breathe in. And out. Hum. Amazing. One more. Breathe in and out. Hum. Okay, beautiful. First question. What is the sentence that your mind repeats when you're feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, or trying to hold everything together? I'll say it one more time. What is the sentence that your mind repeats when you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, or trying to hold everything together? Did anyone not get it yet? So this voice isn't flawed. It's protective, and it was designed to keep you surviving and thriving in a time when it thought that this was the way that it had to. So a lot of these things are features, not flaws, right? Our body's not making mistakes. It's trying to tell us something, and it's just stuck in an old story. Okay, so everyone got at least one, if not a few sentences? Okay. That breathing tool is an amazing tool for alpha, just so you know. So the breath in for like 4, breathe out for 8, and activate with your vagus nerve with a hum. So that's an amazing way to calm down if you're feeling overstimulated.
And this is why oming works so well too.
Sure.
You know?
I do the om with my kids when they're crying.
We do too. Our kids do it when they have headaches. They om, they chant. We don't take medications really in our family, so they've really leaned into that, and it's so amazing because we're strengthening the vagus nerve. Like I know I've been burnt out, vagus nerve about to snap, like on the ground, and doing these things just really strengthens us for a long time and be able to give it to our children too. It's
100%. Okay, now we're gonna do, I wanna walk you through expanded gaze before I ask you the second question so that you guys experience these tools as well so you can use them. So again, so simple, so subtle, but don't let that like negate the effect of these in your mind. These are powerfully rooted in science. I've dug through it for 10 years. Expanded gaze, all you're gonna do, you can tune into your breath. You can do this with your eyes open. And all you're gonna do is scan the room. So you wanna go about 10 feet away from you. And what we're doing is we're going from narrow focused vision, which puts us into like a am I safe here kind of question to our nervous system, to I am safe here. Just looking at like the walls and where the ceiling meets the wall. Simple ways to use this are in line at the grocery store, right? Instead of looking at our phone, like just scan the grocery store.
and the affirmation "I am safe" is literally rewiring.
Yeah, I'm safe.
I am safe.
Yeah, so adding something like that, love it. Okay, so your next question is, think about a time when you felt fully alive, deeply connected. What were you doing? What was the environment? Who were you with? And write any of it down. Yeah, think about a recent time or whenever when you felt fully alive, free, present, joyful, connected. Good. Does anyone want to share either of theirs? The first or the second? Yeah.
When I'm floating in my pool looking up at the sky, day, night, anything,
Uh.
it's the most peace I've ever been.
Oh,
sounds
that
good.
sounds amazing. Yeah. Okay. Love that. Huh?
That was a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah. It's like womb.
Keep those ears under the water.
Oh, yeah. Sensory deprivation, like quiet. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's like a little bit extreme. I went to the floating light show in Arizona,
Oh.
where you like light the lanterns and let them go into the sky, and that was like the last time I was like, wow, this is very tranquil, very peaceful. But writing it down makes me think back of why, because of everything you said before.
Expanded gaze.
Expanded gaze.
Mhm.
That's what people I care about. Was out in nature. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Yeah.
creative because you draw on the lanterns before you light them up. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all of
That's
those
so
things
awesome.
tapped in.
Yeah, so good, right? I called this the blueprint because you start to realize, okay, that's what was there, and maybe I can't go to that light festival again, but can I create a micro version of that in my daily? Yeah.
When I was traveling, like I just went to Spain and I was walking with my family. I just felt so connected in nature. And a month before that, we were in Japan and felt the same way. And I realized that I feel so connected, so grounded, so peaceful and free and happy when I'm traveling. So now the trick is to how do I put that into my daily life or when I'm here.
Yeah. And you know, the interesting thing is that that version you just described, that's actually you. That's not travel you. That's you. That's Mandy at your core. And so when we live from our true self, we feel connected. We feel present. We feel happy. That's who we came here to be. And so these two voices are running our lives. And again, I'm just touching on this, but I wanted to give you guys so many tools. But this is one of my favorite things to work through with women is you take these two voices and you start to become aware when one is, it's usually going to be the first one, is speaking to you and through you. And we usually, like in my coaching, we name them. So like Anxious Alley or the Timekeeper or Commander, right? And this one usually comes through with a megaphone. And she's the one steering our ship and dictating our lives. The other one is who we truly are. That's who we were before we let the world tell us who to be. Or who we were before trauma. Or, you know, someone broke our heart. Or, you know, whatever it was. And so what's really cool, what starts to happen is, you know, a couple things. One, we don't power over or try to distract out of or get beyond this one. We actually pull up a seat and have a conversation. Because it's coming from a place of survival. And so we can try to push through it or distract or get beyond, but it's not working for us. That's a masculine way. And we're not that way as women. Like we need connection, we need verbal processing. And when you create presence for this version of yourself and you ask, you know, for me, it's like, why does everything have to be so hard and busy? Like I'll pull myself into busy if I'm not careful. So like, why do you crave busy? Busy bee, right? Well, because I feel worthy. Why are you that way? Well, because, you know, whatever. So it's like we create space for it, just like we would for a friend if a friend needed to verbal process. And you think about if you ever get to verbal process, what happens? Like just when you're listened to, you calm down, you regulate. And so we don't quiet this first voice by distracting out of it. We calm it through our presence. And so when she shows up, you pull up a seat and you ask her questions. Why am I going on my screen? Right? Why am I pulled to this? What is it doing? Like start to literally have a conversation. And then the other thing we start to do is we start to make more decisions from our true version. Mine is my gymnast. So if you follow me online, you'll see my gymnastics videos. And like as silly as it is, like when I'm making decisions throughout the day, sometimes I'm like, okay, my gymnast version, what would she choose for lunch? What would she choose for dinner? And so we start to strengthen that voice. And so what happens is we don't have to go to the light show, right? Like this morning, I had a podcast. I was like, I should prepare. I should busy bee. I should make this really hard. I have one day in Vegas. It's probably going to be chaotic. I had the easiest, best day ever. And so when Busy Bee showed up, I let gymnastics come in. And I was like, no, actually what I want, I don't know if you guys saw this in my stories, I want to take a bath and I want to sing. And that's how I'm going to prepare for this podcast because I'm going to be an alpha. Right? So again, I usually do this over weeks with women, but this is one of the most powerful things that you can do. It's a shift in awareness and it changes everything. And it gets you back to who you need to be.
That's been one of the biggest things you've shared in the past, I think, year and a half is just playing, being present, and joy, and accessing those things. So for me, which is crazy, we have 4 kids, 3 boys that are big and then a little girl. And playing with my daughters is my favorite thing now. We play outside on the bars. Like we have so much fun. I'm at a point in my life, like now in my late 40s, where I just care about playing with her and being present, like when I'm able to. It's being outside, it's nature, and just like, you know, I think anytime where we can be fully present, it's like being floating under the stars, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's so much amazingness, you know? It's like,
Yeah, we're in alpha, time expands.
it's
So
so true.
this was, you know, my intention with you guys is to help you crack the code. One of the last sentences in the book was my favorite sentence to write, and it's, the code is you. It always has been. And so you eventually don't need the book, or you don't need me. You have you always do.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. And so this is literally becoming a movement, and you guys now are all part of that. And so I hope that this has shifted you and empowered you and reminded you of how easy it can be to come back home. And if you could just share it, you know, like post online, tag me, share, like give this book to a friend, write a review on Amazon. Like all those things help other women find this.
And her book is truly a guide. I read it first, then Jen read it, and then Tracy read it. And her daughter, several of our regular divers, like it's diving when you go in the chamber. They're all reading it, and it's truly such a great guidebook. I had no idea, Melissa. At first, it was just like, I'm reading my friend's book, and then I'm like, whoa. This is fire. So
I wrote this book in Theta and Alpha. So I literally, again, let me go woo, I channeled it. And that is what happens when you spend time in Theta and Alpha. Like you will just get clarity. And so I would go out and ride my bike until I couldn't keep it in anymore. And I'd come home and I would type, because I type faster than I can write. And then when it would stop, I'd go back out. And so, you know, I didn't really ever plan on writing a book, but as I sat in Theta and Alpha in the mornings, like the book wrote me. And then everything came together. We create magic in our lives. We create synchronicities. I was like, I want to write a book, and all of a sudden, Hay House, and I got really close. Like, there is so much magic in this world that we're missing because we're in our heads. This is it. Thank you, guys. I would love to sign some books and take some pictures and hear any thoughts.